thank you for tuning in for a Let's Get Graphic. I'm going to explain, because in case you are a new subscriber, exactly what the Let's Get Graphic videos are that I make. I used to call them library book hauls, but they were all graphic novels. But I figured that was just too lengthy of a title, and it sounded kind of plain and generic. How these differ from regular book hauls is that more or less they are a TBR, because I'm borrowing these from the library, so I'm going to read them. So unlike other book hauls where people just show you books they have bought, these are books that I have checked out from the library, and I'm going to read them. Sometimes I review them either on my channel or I will do reviews on my blog, depending on whether a graphic novel really speaks to me or not. So I just wanted to throw that out there for the new subscribers I've recently gotten. I know that I've gotten quite a few new subscribers in the last few days, so I'm not going to go into the details of how or why I think that is, because, yeah, let's get on with the graphic novel haul. First up is Shattered Heroes. This is a Marvel graphic novel. I'm not too familiar. I think that this takes place after the events of Fear itself, and it's just kind of the follow-up to that. The Red Skull's daughter, she has obtained this mystical hammer of the Asgardian gods, and it's evil. That Fear itself was an extremely good storyline, so when I saw that there was more to that story, I had to check it out. Hopefully it's as good as the Fear itself storyline was. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I really, really liked the Marvel Civil War. This one is Civil War Marvel Universe. I really liked that that storyline for Marvel. I thought it was a really good one. Next up is Morning Glories Volume 3. If you're not familiar with Morning Glories, I think I made a video about this series, just talking a little bit about it. It wasn't really a review per se, it was kind of just an introduction to people who've never heard of this series. What it is like a private school for these kids under weird circumstance. They all share the same birthday, even down to the year. And there is this strange ghostly person that resides in the basement. And it's just so bizarre. I would compare it to Lost, the TV show, because no matter how many volumes I have read so far, I still do not know what the fuck is going on with this story. But it is so intriguing that I cannot stop reading it. And yes, it is very polished looking, and all the people look really attractive like a CW show. So perhaps that might be something that may interest you if you're not really a comic book reader or a graphic novel person. You might like these. Here is Volume 4. And Volume 5, which I do believe is the newest one in this series, as it is an ongoing comic book. It is a monthly book that is currently available if you want to go to your comic book store after you've read all these and check out what's going on month to month. You have the power to do that. Next up we have J. Michael Straczynski's Wonder Woman. This is a part of the New 52, the DC Comics, where they re-released all of their superheroes. They kind of polished them up and made them look nice. This guy, I guess, used to write for Babylon 5, I do believe. I'm not 100% sure on that, but he's a pretty good science fiction writer, and they got him to do this series. I am not usually a big DC Comics or even a Wonder Woman fan, but when I saw this, I just felt like I had to check it out. It just, Wonder Woman looks like she's going to kick some ass. Here is the sequel to that story called The Odyssey Part 2. same writer, Straczynski. So I'm hoping that's going to be a good one. Also, I had seen the movie of this, like, I think it was in the 90s, possibly the early 2000s. I don't remember who starred in it. I think her name might have been Lori Petty or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. She's not like a big star, but I had seen that, I can't even remember her name now, RG's Devil Ship had read one of these. I think that was where I saw that, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about Tank Girl graphic novels, or that was a comic book at one time. So I was like, yeah, I really should read those because I thought that movie was pretty good. So, and it is in black and white. But it's something that I have never read, but obviously somebody thought it was cool enough to turn it into a movie. And there's this artist I follow on Instagram, and he like did a lot of artwork for a recent publication of Tank Girl. I can't remember his name right now. When you get old, you forget stuff. Tank Girl, The Royal Escape. Ooh, this one's in color. Sweet. And this is by IDW Publishing, which does a lot of Joe Hill books like Lock and Key. And if you are a Joe Hill fan, just throwing this out there, and if you had a chance to read Nosferatu, they are turning that into a comic book format called The Wraith. It looks pretty darn cool. Actually, I'm following the artist that's doing the covers. I don't know if he does the interior artwork, but I know he does the covers. I'm following him on DeviantArt right now. Next up we have Superman Red Sun. I have not read this, and I'm surprised I have not read this because this is I love alternate universe stories, and I had seen this on YouTube. Yeah, I know. Like, somebody had made a motion comic book of this. I know, so I hope it's a little bit different than the graphic novel, because it's not going to make it too fun to read if I already know, 100% what's going on scene by scene. And last but not least, we have Green Lantern, Rise of the Third Army. I think this has something to do with... Oh, it's a New 52. Never mind. I was going to say something that wasn't true, but this is the New 52 of Green Lantern, so hopefully this will be good. Wow, this is really thick. I'm surprised. I actually liked the Green Lantern books from before the 52 line, so hopefully this one will be, if not the same, perhaps better. So that is my Let's Get Graphic. We're nearing Easter. As I said before, this is kind of a TBR. Sometimes I check out too many graphic novels, and I try to read them before their due dates. So sometimes, like, if you follow me on Goodreads, you may notice that I try to read them in order of when they're due. But if I can't get to something and I have to renew it, then I shuffle it to the back of my pile, and that's why sometimes you'll see that I didn't read something right away because I ran out of time and I had to move to the next batch of graphics that I had out, and I had to renew it and shuffle it to the bottom until I could get to it later. So I don't know that I'm going to, like, through the summer read a lot of graphic novels. I think I've pretty much read everything that's available at my local library, and unless there's like really new ones, which I'm on a very long waiting list for. That's one of the downsides when it comes to borrowing stuff from the library is sometimes if it's really new and there's a long waiting list, you might have to wait a really long time. And then it sucks if you're like one of those people that manages to get it. You have to read it really quick because someone else wants it, and they don't let you renew. But that is my graphic novel TBR, per se. So thanks for watching, and until next time. Later, guys.